What's up, everybody? Dr. Courtney Morse, Natural Wellness Physiotherapy, here with Griffin J, our strength and conditioning coach. What I want to talk to you about is a really overlooked problem for a lot of people, and that is shoulder extension. So a lot of times if folks get pain in the front part of their shoulder, they're doing banded overhead stuff and they're working on all these ranges, but a lot of times what they're really missing is shoulder extension. Now, shoulder extension is this movement right through here. So if you are struggling with things like bench press or push-ups and you're getting a lot of pain in the front of the shoulder, or if you're in the dip positions or doing, muscle ups or anything like that, sometimes it's that extension that makes it really tight in the front part of our shoulder, and that's why we're feeling some of this stuff. So in general, I'll have Griffin stand up and through here. Face this way, Griffin. In general, what we want to see for shoulder extension is about 50 or 60 degrees. And so what that looks like is somewhere right in this range and through here. So check this on yourself first. Relax that back down. So if you bring this back and you're not at 60 degrees or more, you've got a shoulder extension problem. And now what we want to decide is like, hey, is this a true range of motion problem or is this a motor control problem? And there's a couple ways that we can do that. So I'm going to have Griffin lie face down for me here. For people that have a range of motion problem, I can pin him onto the table and I can kind of hold his shoulder blade in place and I can bring him back, and this is all the range of motion that he would have, right? He would get to that same amount of range of motion and it would stay the same that he saw in standing. Now, if this is a motor control problem, if we take gravity out of the picture, I lift him up and I hold it and I tell him, hold it strong here, and he can hold it, great. Now he has a motor control problem. He has that mobility, he just doesn't own that position, right? So there's a couple of things that we can do. So I'm gonna let you sit back up. There's a handful of things that we see all the time for shoulder extension. And there are things like hanging out in this dip position, or you're grabbing the stick and you're kind of pushing this thing back, and that's okay. But if you have a real extension problem, those are probably not going to be aggressive enough for somebody that is bench pressing a lot of weight or getting into those dip positions. So the other thing that we have to look for is how can I get into those positions with a little bit of a load. So I'm going to have Griffin get on the floor down through here, and we're going to have him get into this kind of position. So all the way down for me. Yep. So what's going to happen is we're going to slide his arms back behind him. I don't care which direction your hands face, but what you're going to do is you're going to slide towards your feet and towards your butt, and you're going to get into this position as far as you can. Now, for somebody that doesn't have much shoulder position or shoulder extension, this is going to be miserable. So you might have to oscillate back and forth over the course of time and through here, but ideally we'd want to have you in that position for 30 to 60 seconds. Now, if you found that you were one of these people where you didn't have shoulder extension in standing, but lying down it was there, you'll have to tune in next week. We're going to show you how to get that positioning back. So that's it for this week, guys. Courtney Morse, Natural Wellness Physiotherapy.